Hi, it's Phoenix Genesis. So I want to talk about animal encounters you're going to possibly experience on the Pacific Crest Trail. And I've been hiking parts of the PCT since 2016. So this is going to be my 10th year going out on the trail, and I've pretty much seen it all now. Some of it took longer than others, but I'm going to start with the small things you're going to see on the trail, that you're going to, small animals, bugs you're going to encounter, because these are probably worse than the large animals that I've encountered, especially more annoying. So I've had scorpions. I was taking a nap one time in the desert. Someone poked me and said, "Hey, guess what? You're having a nap with a scorpion." It didn't bite me, fortunately, but that was a little scary. Ants, those biting red ants are horrific. They usually get you. You just get tired. You want to take that siesta in the desert when it's like 95 degrees, and sure enough, those things bite. They hurt. They take a while. They don't do any permanent injury, but they do hurt. Ticks. One time my dog and I were hiking, and there was a Mojave green rattlesnake, and there was no way to scare it off or go around it. Just ate some big rabbit or something big. It was not moving for probably hours, so we had to hike upwards and through these bushes. We got to Mike's place. We were covered in ticks. I had ticks in my hair. My dog Jake had ticks, so that's something else to think about. Spiders end up in your shoes. I really recommend covering your shoes at all times. If they're not on your feet, put them in a plastic bag, put them in your backpack. Cover your shoes, whatever it takes. Put them upside down. I've had nasty spiders. Spiders in my backpack up in Northern California, coming down from the Squaw Valley. There was a nasty spider that got into my my backpack. If you have a tent, keep it zipped up if you're not in there. I was down in Lake Morena, had the tent unzipped. At the time they used to use tents, and I had like 100 spider bites on my back. Fortunately, my friend was a nurse and had all the medical stuff to treat that. Horse flies, biting black flies. Last year, I was bit by 1,000 of those. In May, if you're going out in May in the desert and you have a big snowpack year, like last year before, those biting black flies hatch and they saw through you. Is absolutely excruciatingly painful. It took months to recover from that. What else I'm trying to think about? Bees. So one time Jake and I were going down before Mike's place. There was this water trough and there was a bee nest. We got bit by 40 bees, and we were getting bit by the biting black flies, to the point by the time I got to Idlewild, I was off the trail for months. Recovering. I was almost in anaphylactic shock. If I didn't have Benadryl, I probably would have been in anaphylactic shock. That was horrible. You can actually watch a video where we're being bitten by those things. So those are the little bugs. Birds, I've never had a problem. Some people are attacked by birds. I haven't. Deer, I've seen those. No problem with the deer. I've never had any porcupines or anything. Bear, up by Yosemite out of Tuolumne, there was a big brown bear. Fortunately, it did not give me the time of day, which was fortunate because I was washing in the creek, but boy, I was shaking like a leaf. It was very scary. Hey, speaking of animal encounters, hi Merlin, you want to say hi for the camera? Yeah, big bad mountain lion. So that's going to bring me to mountain lions, one of my scariest encounters on the trail. It was my fault. I was up at Donner Pass up there heading to a Sierra cabin. I wanted to get to the cabin. I was cold. I didn't bring a quilt. I just had this underquilt thing. Don't ask. Big mistake. Low money. It was what I had at the time, and it was, July, and I was up on this ridge line, and it was exposed. It was at sunset. I knew someone had told me that there were mountain lions, pair of mountain lions that were out there hunting. They come out at sunset, sunrise to hunt. I should not have been at that exposed ridge at that time. It was my mistake. It's their territory. I'm the visitor, and it was scary, two of them, and I was not going past them. I wasn't going to engage them. I didn't run because I didn't want to be seen as prey. I had to hike 2 miles back down the ridge line to the trees, and I made little stakes around my hammock, and I didn't sleep a wink all night. I was screaming bad kitty all night. So that was another animal encounter. So I think that was, oh yeah, and in Anza Borrega. something was vigorously sniffing me. I don't know if it was a skunk or a coyote or a mountain lion or boar, or, you know, and I have run into wild boars, not on the PCT, but out in Hemet, San Jacinto hiking out there, I have run into wild boars. So, which are also very scary inside the, kind of in the ravines. The boars like to go and root around for grubs and things. But anyway, I never opened my eyes at the Anza-Borrega. It was north of Julian. I was terrified. My glasses were put away, and I just like said, okay, I'm just gonna play possum and hopefully they'll go away. And nothing took a bite out of me or licked me. It just sniffed me vigorously and it left. And that was, you know, I cowboy camp a lot. I'm in a tarp a lot. So, oh, and frogs. So these aren't a dangerous thing, I guess, if you don't touch them and get warts or whatever you could. But there was like 100 frogs that were, I was night hiking up to Mount Laguna. It was cold. I didn't want to be out in the forest. I wanted to get there, get to the campground, get myself warmed up with a campfire, and there was 100 frogs, equally dead silent, equally spaced, you know, I don't know, 100 feet apart maybe, but I have a video on that too, and they were just there in the middle of the trail. So that was something else I encountered. So yes, you will encounter animals. Oh, coyote too. There was a coyote. I'd cranked up the heat at Mammoth this year when I finally got a hotel, Motel 6, and there was a coyote all curled outside my door trying to get whatever escape heat was out there. It just saw me, it bolted. So you will encounter different types of animals. Be prepared for it. Don't engage the animals. Don't spook the animals. Try to give them a safe distance. And like I said, a lot of times it's unavoidable. And most of the things that are going to probably attack you are those small little things like ticks, bees, fire ants, and the horse flies. Those are probably the worst ones. And, you know, rattlesnakes, yes, lots of close encounters with rattlesnakes. Scan your area. They blend in. They also, you know, don't try to run. Like, I almost got nailed by a rattlesnake in May down, you know, on my way to Hauser. I was close to mile 10. I was trying to make it to the campground. I was late in the day. I was tired. I had a nice spot at mile 10 and maybe mile 9 something. The trail's very overgrown. So I heard the rattlesnake. I was chucking rocks in the bushes, hoping it would go. And then I was like, oh, I'll just run past the bushes. It's obviously in the bushes. And I'm kind of hearing impaired in this ear, and you know, sound can bounce around, and I'm glad I did not do that because it was not in the bushes. It was sunning on a rock right behind the bushes. So if I'd run, I would have stepped right on it. It was a huge rattlesnake, and it probably would have nailed me. Another time I was sitting there and there was a rattlesnake right when I was packed up, fortunately, and I was about to have some coffee and some breakfast, and it was just sitting right there in a bush. And my friend Seven came around the corner and it started rattling, and it was within striking distance, maybe, I don't know, 3 feet away. And I was very careful. I started talking baby talk and just slowly inching away. And then I ran a half mile. I mean, of course, it wasn't going to go that far, but I ran a half mile to have my breakfast. So that was another one. Rattlesnakes are a problem. Not as much in March, but even out here at Griffith Park, I've seen them out in March. Sorry about my throat. I was sick from between the fires and this creepy fog we had prior to the fires. Steve and I are still coughing, a little bit sick. So, but I did want to make this video just so you could think about the fact that you will encounter things and the different types of things you might encounter and what to do about them. So anyway, safe travels. If there's no risk, there's no reward, but we want to mitigate that risk. Anyway, peace out, guys. Bye.